Your girl was on TV. Hey, what up you guys? It's your girl Chrissy back with another video, but today is gonna be a very special video. Okay, I want to give you guys a warning. This is gonna be kind of a long video, so if you guys want to watch the whole thing, I recommend you go get a beverage and some sort of snack and get comfy, sit on your couch, sit on your bed like me, because I know I'm not going to be able to sit on a stool and on a spinny chair for a while. So I recommend sit on your bed, on the couch, something like that, get a food and drink, and let's watch this video. So as I mentioned earlier, this is such a special video for me. It is because I went to the taping of the Steve Wilkos Show. So this is the Steve Wilkos Experience show. The reason why I'm posting it now and not earlier on was because I wanted it to post the day the show came out or the day after it came out, or whenever it was gonna come out, whatever day I post. Anyways, I'm gonna start from the very beginning on how I got my tickets, show you guys how you can get your tickets, and yeah. So without further ado, here is the story time of my birthday slash being on the Steve Wilkos Show. So before I explain the whole thing, how to get the tickets and what the show was, I just want to say a little bit of who Steve Wilkos is. He was actually a security guard on the Jerry Springer for a couple of seasons, and he was also a Marine, like in the Army. He is a big, tough guy, and let's just say he's kind of intimidating, but trust me, I will tell you a lot more about him and what he's like in person when I get a little further onto the story. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about Steve and who he is and what he did. So he started his show on, it was 2006, I believe, because this is his 11th season. So yeah, he did it for 11 years now. So he started in 2006, and in the late 90s, I think 98 or 99, he started off on Steve Wilkos, really. He started on the Jerry Springer Show as like the security guards of, like, you know, when people fight and stuff. He started off as one of those, and I believe in around the early 2000s, I think it was 2001, maybe 2002, one of those years he stopped and he created his show. The cool thing about this show is that not only his wife, Rochelle, I think that's how you pronounce her name, not only she's the executive producer, but Jerry Springer also helped him, so he's the co-executive producer of this show. And let me just tell you, that's the background story of who he is. That's the show. Now, I explained who he is. You guys kind of get an idea of it. Now, let's get on to the day of how it happened. Actually, we're gonna have to rewind a little bit. So let's rewind it a little bit, as I said, on how and when I got the tickets. So on the 10th of August, 20 days before the show, I was really bored and I was watching his show, and I decided, I was like, you know what? How fun would it be if I went to a taping? And how fun would it be if that there was an open spot on my birthday? So I went on his website and I did tickets. So if you want to see how you can do tickets, I will move a little here right now. Here you go. So I went, I submitted all my information, I said I was the ticket holder, I did how many people were gonna go, but the thing is with this show, you have to be 18 and older to go because there's obviously explicit language and heavy material going on, and it's kind of insane. So as you're watching right now, this is how you buy tickets. Well, you don't buy them, it's for free. You just go and you send, how do you explain it? You go and you send via email, so you just request the tickets. That's how you say it. So yeah, now you guys know how you do it. So when I requested the tickets, I did it like that very day, and 3 hours later I got a phone call from Stamford, which is the place where they do the show. It's in Connecticut, and they said, oh, congratulations, you got the tickets for this day. And I put the day of my birthday like as a joke, like I'm probably not gonna get it, like whatever. So I was like, wait, like the 30th of August, like that actual day. And they said, yes, congratulations, you got it. I was like, are you serious? Like, that's the day of my birthday. I got so excited. I said, thank you so much. I received a confirmation email, which is this one. I cropped out a few things because it has a couple of my personal information. So this is what the confirmation email looked like. And I was like, 3 hours, so that's quick, because the website usually says in about a week to a couple of weeks is when you get, you know, the email that you got the tickets. But the thing is with me is that I went to on my birthday is when they started filming the new season. Actually, it's the day after, but it was the week where they started filming the new season, season 11, which is really awesome. And oh my god, I don't want to scream loud because my family's in the other room, but so fast forward to the day of my birthday. I had to actually wake up really early because I live in Massachusetts and Connecticut is about, well, 3.5 hours away, because that's where Stamford is, and it's closer to New York. So we got up early that day, and by we I mean my mother and I, because that's who I went with. So we got up at 7 a.m. I got ready, did my hair, my makeup, my everything, chose a really cute outfit so I can like stand out on TV, because that's another thing they say on the website and the email, dress to impress because you're gonna be on TV. So I was like, okay, so I wore this like pretty gold shirt, this really nice outfit, like with these jeggings. It looks like jeans, but it's leggings, and they're really comfy, so thank God I wore that. I wore these cute shoes, but those shoes I kind of regret wearing because it left a scar on my ankles. I'm not going to go into full detail because I know that's going to sound really disgusting, but I got ready. It was awesome. My hair and makeup came out awesome, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna look good on TV. I don't know about the other people, but I know I'm gonna look good. So I left the house around 8 a.m. and my mom and I, because it was my birthday, we stopped at my favorite Dunkin' Donuts. I got like a breakfast, like sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant, which was so good. I got my usual coffee, and you know, we got on that highway after, and we made our way to Stamford, Connecticut. So we were driving, and then we decided to make a rest stop in, I'm probably gonna pronounce this wrong, in Stonington, Connecticut, which is about an hour and 45 minutes away from Stamford. I took a snapshot of it. Here you go, me looking all kind of excited but like, haha, it's my birthday, I'm gonna be on TV. I'm not bragging, it was just like a special day for me, and it was just really, but I want to say thank God we left early, because right when we reached Fairfield, Connecticut, we were stuck in a little bit of traffic, and let's just say that was not fun. But thankfully we made it there on time in Stamford. Now this is everything that's gonna go on, so get ready. Now, since we're actually beginning the story, let's go. So we arrived in Stamford, Connecticut about 11:53. Yes, I know the exact time that we were there. My mom and I, we parked in a garage. It wasn't far away, but it was a good walking distance. So we got there. We were actually the first ones in line. I remember we arrived to the Stamford Media Center, and we tried to open the doors because there was people in there. We were opening the doors, but they weren't like opening, they were all locked. And we kind of like knocked on the doors, and we said to the security guards like, hi, we're sorry, but there's people in there and every single door is locked. He said, oh, are you here for the Steve Wilkos Show taping? We said, yes, we're here. And he's like, oh, sorry, you're gonna have to wait because Maury is almost done filming. Mind you, this is a big building, and each floor is a different taping of a show. So the first floor is Steve, second I think was Jerry, and then third was Maury. So he's like, sorry, you're gonna have to wait outside in the line with the barcodes. And then I was like, there's no line. He was like, oh, then you're the first ones here, great, then you'll get awesome seats. I said, alright, whatever. So we waited in line, and we waited for about a solid like hour and a half because they wanted the line to get kind of long. And trust me, thank God we got there early because the line was really long. And about, I would say 1:15, when it said on our tickets the doors were gonna open, and that was the time for us. There's this guy, he came outside actually. He had a clipboard with his assistant. He told everyone to get their IDs out, and he gave everybody a ticket. So we showed our IDs. I said I was a ticket holder, so I showed my license saying that I was over 18. He saw my license. He was like, oh, today's 30th, like happy birthday. And I was like, oh, thanks. So he gave the ticket, and we had to fill out our names, our address, our email, and we had to do a signature confirming that it's us. So he did that with everybody in line. He went back inside. We waited another 20 minutes, and that's when we went in. So around 1:40, like, we went inside because we had to wait so they can show the security guards. We went inside, we went through security, we showed the tickets, and then they actually gave us another ticket. And this ticket basically says, you know, your show can air between up to 2 weeks to 6 months, so please be patient. And unfortunately, they do not sell tapes of the show we were on, so we would have to wait. So me being me, because I love Steve Wilkos and his show, I recorded the entire season, season 11, and this was the thing. They sent us into a room, and we waited in there for about 30 minutes, maybe to an hour. They had the TVs on. It says like Maury, Jerry, and Steve, like their logos of the show. We waited, there were TVs, and it was playing an episode of the Steve Wilkos Show. We were there, and they were really nice people. They're like, sorry, you're gonna have to wait a little longer. Here's like some sandwiches and some snacks and drinks, like help yourselves. The only food I had was the food from Dunkin' Donuts. So I went, I got some water, and I had the a little sandwich, like a little turkey sandwich. I had those. I'm sorry, Stamford Media Center chefs people. They were not good, but everything else was great. I was enjoying my experience. Please don't hate me on this. So the reason why we were in there waiting a while was because Steve tapes 2 shows a day. I went to the second taping, of the day, and yeah, he films one around 10, and then he films one around 2 o'clock. Tapings are not super long, but they're pretty a good amount of time. So when they said the crew that it was time for us to go inside, they brought us into this hallway, and this hallway, when you reached the end, it had curtains, and that's where the auditorium was. It was the Rich Forum Auditorium in the center, and thank God it was on the first floor, because trust me, I did not feel like going all the way up, especially with my shoes. So my mom and I, we got in there. The seats weren't assigned, but there were people saying like, okay, you two, you sit there. Okay, you sit there, sit there. Not assigned seats, but kind of was. I don't know how to explain it, but the seats, they were really awesome. We actually sat not front row, but very close to the front. We were 4th row. Picture. Trust me, cameras everywhere in every single direction. Lights literally hitting your face, and I'm like, I was expecting it, but not that crazy. Okay, and I'm gonna be honest with you. The chairs, when you see on TV, like where people sit down, there are those plastic fold-out chairs. They were so uncomfortable. We were sitting like kind of tight like this. But you know what? It was worth it. It was fun. And let me tell you about the cameras. There was one, as you saw in the picture, in front of the stage, like facing the audience, because Steve, when he turns around, he faces that camera. There's a camera on the left, a camera on the right to point to Steve and the person that's on the show for a certain reason. And then there were a camera guy on each side as well, like literally having the camera on the person's face, like for their reaction. There was a camera flying around everyone. And this is the thing, like I was afraid because I was like, what if the camera like just falls and hits the head? But don't worry, everything was okay. No one was injured, camera was fine. And then there were 3 more cameras in the back here, and then in the middle, and the lights everywhere. I didn't feel like I had blurry vision, but my face, because the cameras, I'm like, okay, I know my makeup looks good, but I hope this lighting does not make it look bad. Like, please, God. So there's this guy after. He came out. He was like the MC. He's like the guy during commercial breaks. He came out. His name was J Hype. He was so awesome. No, not the guy from boy band. He was an MC, like a DJ. He came out, he was like, he introduced himself, he was saying like, okay, start practicing your reactions, like, this happened, what's your shock face? And everybody showed it. Okay, Steve, or somebody said something funny, show us how you laugh, things like that. And there was music playing, he had people like come on stage and dance with him, it was hilarious. And he did that during every commercial break. And mind you, there are 3 stories that Steve does. So there was a story, commercial break, story, commercial break, story, a little break, and then we exit. But here is the part where everybody met Steve. So right after he was done, Steve actually came out before we started taping, and he did a Facebook Live Q&A, questions and answers. And let me tell you, he's bigger in person. He's like buffer. He's intimidating, but he is so nice. He's so funny. He's literally like a really good-hearted guy. On TV, you see him act like all tough and stuff like that, but he is like such a teddy bear. He's just so sweet. He's so nice. He was so welcoming to everyone. He was answering everybody's questions that they have. I should have asked a question, because this was the thing. I'm like, should I ask a question? But I was thinking, like, but I don't know what to say. Like, it's Steve. I don't know what to say. And then right after he left, I was thinking, I should have asked for a birthday selfie. I'm like, I should have. Like, come on. Like, are you serious, Chrissy? Why? Why didn't you ask that? Oh my God. But anyways, during the Q&A, we talked to him for like a half hour. We had a great time. He was talking about what he did over the summer and how he films from the last week of August up till mid-May, and the entire summer he has off. So yeah, he was just talking. He was such a chill guy. He was really nice, and I would definitely go back to the Steve Wilkos Show. Now, let me tell you about the taping. 3:35 is when the taping actually started. He was talking to the camera, explaining of what the story's gonna be. And then you guys know on the show, like, how they go and they show the person, like, how they film, like, their story before they talk to the person. They actually had 2 TVs on each side, and everybody was watching it either like this or like this, and they were explaining the stories. So because the show aired, I'm gonna tell you like what the stories were. So the first story is a topic that I hate, but at the same time, like, it was so fascinating. Well, not so fascinating. It's not a good story, but the topic was about child molesting, and right after that story was done, we went on the commercial breaks, and the MC guy came out. We started dancing, hanging out again. It was so much fun. And then the other one came on, and the other story came on, same thing, the video, and Steve talked to the camera, they showed the video, then the guy came out. And that video was a story about another topic which I do not like, which is raping. So, okay, now this next commercial break, the second one, was the most fun one of all time. So the MC, J-Hype, he came out and he was like, oh, where are all the Virgo babies, like all the August babies? I stood up and he had a bag and there was stuff inside the bag. And he was coming up and he was like, okay, say your name, how old are you, and when your birthday is. So I stood up, everybody was explaining, and I was the second or third person he came up to, and he was like, hi, what's your name, when's your birthday, and how old are you? I said, hi. I said my full name. I said, my birthday's today, I just turned 19. The audience went wild. I'm not over exaggerating, like, everybody's like, wow, like, happy birthday, yeah, like, yeah. It was awesome. And in the bag, he gave us like these cup holders to put like the beer or the drinks, but I am not 21, so I just put my water, like soda, in here. On the back it says Alive at 5, and then it has Maury, Jerry, and Steve, and then it says, you know, where to get the tickets, StamfordTVtickets.com, and then it says hashtag you know what to watch, and says it down here, and also says my drink is cold thanks to Maury, Jerry, Steve, and it same hashtag and same website. And yeah, and there's this other woman, she was like, oh, today's my birthday too, and everybody was like, nice. And he was like, oh, how old are you? And she's like, oh, I just turned, like, she was 30 something she turned, but it was the day of her birthday. But nobody went crazy over her. She was just, everybody was like, nice. Okay. And then the final story came on, and personally, I thought it was kind of the funniest one. Well, you'll see why. But it was about cheating. I know cheating's not good, but if you hear like the story. So then the taping, it ended around like 4:45, so it was about an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours. And Steve, he came out and he greeted everyone individually, and he was like, I heard it was your birthday, happy birthday. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Steve. I should have said that selfie. I'm so stupid. Ugh. Anyways, he came out, he greeted us individually, said happy birthday to me, and again, gave him a hug. Awesome hugger. So my mom and I, we walked back to the garage. I took those shoes off, and it was the best feeling in the entire world. It's like, you know how you go somewhere and you have to dress up really nice, like it's from head to toe? Those shoes, when I got in the car and when I took those shoes off, oh my god, it was the best feeling ever. I did not wear heels, I wore flats, but ladies, you definitely know what I'm talking about. It was like the best feeling in the entire world. So my mom and I, we walked back to the garage. I took those shoes off, and it was the best feeling in the entire world. It's like, you know how you go somewhere and you have to dress up really nice, like it's from head to toe? Those shoes, when I got in the car and when I took those shoes off, oh my god, it was the best feeling ever. I did not wear heels, I wore flats, but ladies, you definitely know what I'm talking about. It was like the best feeling in the entire world. So my mom and I, we put the GPS on, we went on the highway to go back home, and all of a sudden she was like, I'm really hungry. I said, yeah, I'm hungry too. So we were close to Stratford, Connecticut, which was about 20-30 minutes away from where Stamford was. So she was like, okay, it's your birthday, choose a place. I said, okay, cool. I chose a place, and let's just say I put the GPS on, and the GPS literally took us like all over the world. I was like, what is wrong with this GPS on my phone? And then I took her phone, and then the GPS was acting all weird, and oh my god. So after what it felt like forever of driving, we got to the place, and it's called Acapulco's. It was this really good Mexican place. We sat outside. Oh, notifications. We sat outside because it was such a beautiful night out. It was like breezy and it was nice. So we sat, before we sat down, my mom, she actually parked in a non-parking place, and it's like, you will get towed if you parked here. And I don't know why, but she parked there, and plus there was basically no other parking spots, so we had no choice. It was either that or walk 3 miles. So I didn't want to walk 3 miles because I hated those. I hated that. I honestly did. Those shoes. So we sat down and we were eating. We ate so much, but it was worth it, and we were really hungry too, so we really needed it. We sat down, and then at one point I was FaceTiming my little cousin and my godson because it was my birthday and they wanted to wish me a happy birthday before they went to bed. And they're 3 and 14 months old. Well, now 14 months old, then 13 months. But we were sitting down, I was FaceTiming them, and then at one point the crew came out with like a big sombrero on my head, and they had like this strawberry ice cream with like a candle on it with like hot fudge on top, which was amazing. Mind you, I'm still on FaceTime. So they put the sombrero on me. My little 3-year-old cousin was like, what is going on? And I was like, look, sweetie. I'm not going to say your name. I was like, look, like they're saying happy birthday to me and look at all this. And then she started saying happy birthday too, which was the cutest thing ever. So I blew out the candle. She was still on FaceTime. If you want to see me in the sombrero and blowing out the candle. And then the other picture. So then we left. It was good, and we still had the food with us, which was, trust me, we needed that food. And the car was still there. It was not towed. There was no ticket. So we were all good. So after that, we left there around 8 p.m. And right after we left, we got in the car and I posted my birthday Q&A video, which you should watch. I will link that either down below or either be in the end screen card when you click, I don't know, one of those. But that's when I posted it, and we were driving, and then there was this beautiful bridge. I think it was still Stamford or Fairfield. No, it was Fairfield. We were driving on that bridge, and it was blue. It lit up in the most beautiful blue. So this picture is kind of blurry, but this is what it looked like because we were driving. And let me tell you, besides the Zankum Bridge in Boston, it was like one of the prettiest bridges I've seen. So then we reached to the point where there was kind of some traffic, and my mom was like, why don't you like prank call your grandma and grandpa and say, hey, we're gonna stay in New York with your godfather because he lives in New York and it's 40 minutes away from Stamford. So I called and I'm like, hi, I am so tired, but we have to. We're gonna drive up to New York and just stay with him. Like, we can't drive like 3.5 hours again. She was, notifications. She was like, oh, no worries. It'll be fine, whatever. So then we were close to Rhode Island, and we passed Connecticut, and now we were in the Rhode Island border. I called her. I was like, okay, good night, we're going to bed. It was 40 minutes later. And she was like, okay, I hope you had a great birthday. Happy birthday. And I was like, thank you. Love you guys and good night. But I texted my uncle. I was like, just in case if they call, we're pranking her. And he was like, okay. So then this next part is kind of funny. Kind of. So then at one point, we were driving by Rhode Island, and there is this casino called Twin River Casino, and it's the only casino where I'm legal to play the slots and the games, but not the table games, but all the other games I can play. And it's the only legal one in New England, so why not? And we were very close to the exit, and all the signs were popping up, and we were like, should we not? And at one point I was like, we can go another time, but I am really tired, and I'm sorry, but I'm not even in the mood. So around, I would say 10:50, we reached Braintree, and we stopped to get gas at this 24-hour shop by the mall because we were literally driving with no gas. And I don't know how the car was still going, but let's just say we had to stop. We got out of the car, and I was like, fresh air. Even though all the windows were down, I was like, fresh air, yes, yeah. So then it was about 11:15 when we reached home. So because we were surprising them, my grandparents, by coming home even though we prank called them. My mom turned off the headlights in the car. She turned off all the lights. She stopped in the middle of the driveway. I got out. I was kind of walking like this so no one could see me. I quietly went up the porch stairs. I knocked on the door and they're like, "We thought you were gonna be in New York." And I'm like, "Surprise!" And we sat down, we talked about the whole day. I took off my makeup, which I hate doing, but I have to do. I put my pajamas on, which was the best feeling in the entire world, I should say. When I went back, sat down, said everything, and it was so much fun. Then I was like, I'm gonna go to bed, whatever. I laid on my bed. Hey, baby. And I was just on my phone looking through pictures of that day, and I'm like, this was literally the best day ever. I went to bed around maybe 2:45 in the morning because I was just reminiscing about the day, how awesome it was, and the smile on my face. Like, I just went to bed a happy girl because it was literally the best day of my life. So that's the end of the Steve Wilkos experience, story time / my birthday / being on TV / going out to dinner, my experience, things like that. So if you guys enjoyed this video and this story time, I know it was a little long, I'm sorry, but if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up if you love watching TV. Give it a thumbs up if you like the Steve Wilkos Show, Maury, or Jerry Springer. Comment down below. Same thing. Do you like them? Do you not like them? Do you ever want to go? And did you find that little video useful of me showing you how to get tickets? Tell me. And what'd you think of the clips too? Oh my gosh, weren't those stories so crazy? And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you guys, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye!